Hello, friends. Today, I will tell you about 10 new games that have already captured the attention of the gaming community and seem incredibly interesting. Make sure to watch until the end because there's an exciting bonus waiting for you that won't leave anyone indifferent. Let's go! Spine is a dynamic single-player game where players take on the role of Redline, a rebellious street artist fighting against the authoritarian regime of the artificial intelligence corporation Tensor. In this cyberpunk world, Redline is not alone. She is accompanied by a smart combat partner named Spine. Together, they must learn to trust each other and combine their skills to fight a powerful enemy. As the game progresses, Redline becomes faster, learns new techniques, and develops her abilities, turning into a real killing machine. The game stands out with its unique combat system, combining fistfights and gunfights. The new trailer showcases exciting combat episodes and a smooth transition from melee to gunfights. The game's plot unfolds in a city controlled by an autocratic AI known as Tensor. Tensor has seized power and allowed criminal gangs to operate with impunity. Redline must not only deal with criminals, but also rescue her brother, who has been kidnapped by AI's henchmen. In the process of fighting enemies and uncovering the city's dark secrets, Redline will face numerous challenges that will test her mettle and teach her the art of survival in a bleak future. Currently, the release date for Spine remains unknown, but the game is already planned for release on PC and consoles. Spine promises to be a real hit for fans of action and cyberpunk, offering a unique mix of dynamic combat, a deep storyline, and spectacular special effects. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a new turn-based role-playing game from the French studio Sandfall Interactive, announced at the Xbox Game Showcase, which has already received a lot of positive feedback. Players are invited to journey into a world inspired by the historical period of France's Belle Epoque, which is combined with elements of fantasy. The Belle Epoque was a time of cultural flourishing, progress, and peace in France, and this atmosphere is vividly reflected in the game world, which promises to be rich with details inspired by the art, history, and culture of that era. Players take on the role of explorers embarking on a challenging quest to break the cycle of death imposed by a mysterious and powerful figure known as the Artist. Every year, the Artist erases all people of a certain age, and at the start of the game, there is no one left over the age of 34. To stop this endless cycle of destruction, the remaining people must set out on Expedition 33 to put an end to the Artist's reign once and for all. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 offers players not only exciting turn-based battles with parrying mechanics and weak point attacks on enemies, but also the opportunity to explore picturesque landscapes in third-person mode. The game draws inspiration from well-known series such as Final Fantasy, Tales, Persona, and Lost Odyssey. The influence of games like From Software and Devil May Cry is also evident, promising a deep and engaging combat system. The game will be released on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC through Steam and Epic Games Store in 2025, and will also be available on Xbox Game Pass. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 promises to be a true revival of the turn-based AAA JRPG genre, combining a stunning art style, intense boss battles, and a deep story that will make you think and empathize. Friends, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's continue. Mafia: The Old Country is the new installment in the legendary Mafia series from Hangar 13 Studio, set in early 20th century Sicily. The game serves as a prequel to the main events of the franchise and tells the story of the origins of organized crime. Players will delve into the brutal world of the Mafia, fight for survival, and witness the rise of criminal structures against the backdrop of picturesque Sicilian landscapes. The game was announced at Gamescom 2024, where an atmospheric teaser was presented. The teaser showcases scenes that capture the spirit of the era, a bottle of wine dated 1903 and a mysterious figure that may be linked to well-known characters from previous installments. Mafia: The Old Country offers a return to the series' roots, focusing on realistic action and rich storytelling in the spirit of classic gangster films. The gameplay promises to be rich in action and drama, with detailed characters and plot twists. Moreover, Mafia: The Old Country will be the first game in the series to use voice acting in the Sicilian dialect to create a more authentic atmosphere. The game will be released on PC and consoles PS5 and Xbox Series X and S in 2025, with a release window from April to December. Mafia: The Old Country promises to be a key event for all fans of the series and the genre, offering a unique experience in exploring the criminal origins of the Mafia in a new, exciting setting. Dying Light. The Beast is a new spin-off of the popular Dying Light series from Techland that continues the story of Kyle Crane. The game takes place between the events of the first and second parts, focusing on the dark and grim aspects of survival in a world where zombies and human enemies are equally dangerous. The game introduces a unique mechanic where Kyle Crane, being half zombie, can transform into the Beast at night, adding a new dynamic to the gameplay. The game retains the parkour elements traditional to the series, but emphasizes new stealth mechanics. Now, Crane can hide in tall grass and use the environment to manipulate enemies. Weather effects, such as rain, will affect gameplay, creating more noise and increasing the risk of being spotted. Unlike previous installments, Dying Light, the Beast places a significant emphasis on firearms, which has sparked controversy among fans accustomed to melee combat. Dying Light. The Beast will be available free of charge to all owners of the Ultimate Edition of Dying Light 2, but only for a limited time. After that, the game will need to be purchased separately, which has already caused dissatisfaction among fans. The game has also faced criticism for focusing heavily on shooter mechanics, somewhat straying from the series' roots. However, innovations like the Beast mode add new opportunities for exploration and combat. The game's release is expected in 2025 on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. The Beast promises to be a gritty, intense game that offers a new perspective on the familiar Dying Light universe, adding more survival elements and tactical gameplay. Heroes of Might and Magic. Olden Era is a new installment in the famous Heroes of Might and Magic series, developed by Unfrozen Studio in collaboration with Ubisoft. The game returns fans to the classic roots of the franchise, drawing inspiration from the mechanics of the second and third parts, which remain fan favorites to this day. The new project offers players a unique blend of classic gameplay with modern graphics and innovations, creating a unique gaming experience. Olden Era focuses on developing an esports component, introducing 3 online modes: the Classic mode, with traditional turn-based gameplay, a single hero mode for quick, intense matches, and Arena, where players draft their armies and spells. This system adds depth and strategic complexity to the game, making it suitable for both newcomers and experienced players seeking new challenges. The gameplay will also delight fans of single-player experiences, offering non-linear campaigns and various story choices. The action takes place in the world of Rhoda, and players will encounter familiar characters such as Tanta and Galtran. Necromancers, Dun, and other factions will have their unique tactics and abilities, allowing each player to find their playstyle. Visually, the game is done in a modern style, but retains the spirit and atmosphere of the original parts. The developers have paid special attention to detail, from the bright and detailed graphics to the intuitive interface. Heroes of Might and Magic. Olden Era will be released in early access on Steam in 2025, promising to take the beloved franchise to a new level and offer fans hundreds of hours of engaging gameplay. Trench Tales is a new third-person shooter in a gothic style developed by Talking Drum Studio under the direction of Alexander Ponomarev, known for games like Prey, Path of Exile, Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, and Rise of the Tomb Raider. The project was announced on Kickstarter and is published by Creativo. Trench Tales promises a captivating gaming experience in an alternate reality that combines elements of history and mysticism. The game's action takes place in a world reminiscent of Verdun, devastated by war. The protagonist finds himself in this dark world due to mysterious forces and must find a way back to his own world. Players will explore a gothic reality filled with secrets and dangers, set between the First and Second World Wars. The player's arsenal will include not only familiar firearms, but also supernatural abilities, time slowdown, energy attacks, vision through walls, and healing wounds. The gameplay promises to be dynamic and rich, offering players the opportunity to combine weapon use and magical skills to fight enemies and solve puzzles. The game's dark atmosphere, supported by its gothic style, creates a unique setting that will appeal to fans of unusual shooters. Trench Tales explores the theme of war and its consequences, using elements of alternate history and mysticism. The release of Trench Tales on Steam is scheduled for March 2025, and it is also planned to be released on consoles. Doom. The Dark Ages is a new installment in the legendary Doom franchise developed by ID Software, which promises to radically change the familiar gameplay of the series. The action of the game takes us back to dark times before the events of the first Doom, allowing the developers to create a unique medieval atmosphere combined with traditional shooter elements. Players will once again battle hordes of demons, but this time in harsher and darker conditions where weapon use will be limited and battles will be more brutal. The main feature of Doom. The Dark Ages is its new setting and arsenal, which includes both familiar and new types of weapons. Players can use not only firearms, such as a shotgun, but also medieval tools of destruction, such as a morning star, swords, and axes. A shield with rotating teeth adds novelty to the gameplay, allowing players to block attacks and deliver devastating blows. Doom. The Dark Ages moves away from the vertical gameplay of previous installments and focuses on horizontal battles on large open spaces. This allows players to use more diverse strategies, fight with massive crowds of enemies, and wield powerful weapons of mass destruction. The game is set to release in 2025 on all major platforms. Doom: The Dark Ages promises to return the series to its roots with a dark, brutal atmosphere and an innovative approach to the combat system that will appeal to longtime fans of the series and new players looking for a fresh and exciting experience in the shooter genre. Sid Meier's Civilization VII is the highly anticipated new installment in the renowned strategy series, offering a host of innovations and changes. The game's main feature is the shift in eras and civilizations, giving each game session a unique character. Leaders are no longer tied to specific civilizations, allowing players to mix and match different nations throughout the game. Leaders stay with you throughout the game, and civilizations can change as you transition from one era to another, from antiquity through the Age of Discovery to the modern era. Each era opens up new opportunities and resources, as well as unique challenges. For example, players can transition from Egypt to Mongolia or from Rome to England, depending on the conditions met. Leaders have their development branches with 6 different skill trees, such as cultural, diplomatic, economic, military, scientific, and expansionist development, adding even more strategic depth. The eras also affect the size and content of the map, which expands as you progress through the game. Civilization VII introduces revolutionary changes to the city development system. Workers will no longer be used to improve tiles. Instead, cities are divided into urban and rural districts. New buildings can be constructed both in the city center and in the surrounding districts. Rural districts are created by residents assigned to work in these areas, such as a sawmill. Specialized districts are also present and can be transformed into unique ones, such as campuses or industrial zones, depending on the buildings. The game also introduces new military strategy mechanics. Army commanders, who earn experience points and have their skill trees, become the centers of your armies, which can house up to 6 units. These commanders play a key role in tactics and strategy, helping manage combat actions and providing bonuses to the units they command. Sid Meier's Civilization VII promises to be a real breakthrough in the strategy genre, offering players a wealth of new features and opportunities to explore and conquer the world. Death Stranding 2. On the Beach is the sequel to Hideo Kojima's legendary game, once again immersing players in a mysterious and unique world filled with hidden meanings and symbols. In the new trailer, we see how the game's world continues to evolve after the events of the first part. Sam Bridges and a rejuvenated Fragile are once again at the center of the action. Alongside them, we see Louise, Sam's daughter, who has now become an important element of the plot. The environment has changed, and new mysterious structures like multifaceted pillars and huge gates add even more mystery to what is happening. The trailer also shows how the game expands its arsenal of tools for exploration and survival. We see a new means of transportation, a monobike that will allow players to overcome difficult areas of terrain. Fragile uses this transport to escape armed men in red suits who appear to be hunting Louise. One of the key new additions is the huge ship plane Magellan, which belongs to a new organization called Drawbridge. This ship is capable of navigating in tar and defending itself from enemies, making it an important element in delivery and protection missions. Magellan hints at travel and exploration and also suggests that the game may require crossing large distances, possibly even circumnavigating the new world. Death Stranding 2 promises to continue the traditions of the first game, deepening the theme of connections and separation, exploring new philosophical questions about human nature and survival. The game, like its predecessor, is full of secrets, and its world is filled with mysteries for players to unravel. Directive 820 is a new interactive horror game that is part of the second season of the Dark Pictures series. The game promises a gripping plot full of intrigue, danger, and surprises. In the recently released trailer, viewers got their first hints about the dark atmosphere and storyline unfolding on a space exploration vessel called Cassiopeia, which has arrived at the planet Tau Ceti F. The ship's crew faces an unknown threat that is slowly driving them insane. The main character, a young girl who dreamed of space travel, finds herself entangled in terrifying events on board. According to the trailer, she will have to escape from her own clone, a creepy creature with a stone face. It is assumed that the clone is some kind of alien form, capable of assuming a human appearance. The trailer hints at various types of enemies, including infected crew members with external signs of mutations. These mutations may have been caused by an alien mold that the crew accidentally brought on board during the planet's exploration. The situation is complicated by the damage to the ship, increasing the tension among the crew members. The game will be released in 2025 on all major platforms, including PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Directive 820 promises to continue the series' traditions, offering a unique experience of interacting with an interactive movie where every action matters. Fans of the horror genre and previous installments of the series are eagerly awaiting new announcements and the game's release to immerse themselves in this cosmic nightmare. Since the beginning of the development of the new game in the Witcher series, CD Projekt Red Studio claimed that the protagonist of the new installment, known under the codename Polaris, would be a new character, not Geralt of Rivia. However, for many fans, The Witcher is directly associated with the adventures of the White Wolf. A recent statement by Doug Cockle, the actor who voices Geralt in the English versions of the games, added intrigue. In an interview, he said that the studio plans to bring him back to voice Geralt in the new game. This confirms the likelihood of Geralt's return in The Witcher 4. However, it is important to note that, according to Cockle, although Geralt will appear in the new game, he will not be the main protagonist, and the game will not revolve around his adventures. This may mean that his role will be secondary, possibly as a cameo or as a mentor for a new hero. It seems that CD Projekt Red has decided not to do away with such an important character for the franchise to retain loyal fans. However, the extent of his involvement is still in doubt, and the new game's script could still change. Geralt's return in the new game also gives us some clues about the time context and plot of the future project. The game is unlikely to focus on the golden age of Witchers or the distant future, as both periods exclude Geralt's presence. Most likely, the events will take place in the near future, where Geralt could act as a trainer or mentor for a new generation of Witchers. The fate of The Witcher and Geralt's role in it remain uncertain. CD Projekt Red continues to work on the game, and development has not yet started in full force. For now, fans can only wait for official announcements and hope for a worthy continuation of their favorite series.